My family prays that I stop living the way I live, but man, I can't help it. I'm on this grid without no fucks to give. I love them to death, but I didn't choose it. This life chose me, you know me. I'm a smash for the bag. The streets are calling
Catch
me.
the suckers lacking, but I let them pass. Cause if you really want the steam. Hey, what's good with everybody, man? I hope everybody's having a productive day, feeling blessed. And like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. The other day, I was doing an experiment. I dropped a reaction video. Somebody wanted me to do it on 60 days. But when I aired it, I realized that it was a copyright claim, so I didn't feel no need to do it. But I have another idea in mind. Oftentimes my baby mama be shooting me funny videos that I find hilarious. You know, I'm gonna find some fair use claim videos that I can do. That way I can still continue to put in work and, you know, get monetized off the content that I post. But I have a bunch of subscribers, bro, that I have on Instagram that they send me some funny content just to give me a laugh. You know, I'm gonna actually screen record them and, you know, give you guys my reaction to those kind of videos. Now I gotta lie, this vacation has been something else, man. I didn't realize I was that tired. I've been sleeping like crazy. So, you know, it's 3 in the morning right now. I'm up. I fell asleep around like 6. So, you know, I'm drinking my coffee. You know, I'm reading my books. And obviously, I came to tell you guys another crazy prison story that's going to make you guys laugh. Because it made me laugh when it happened. So, with that being said, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like. Follow me on Instagram at 59_JAYY. Check out my music content. Hitting the links in the description. Promote all my music. Let's get into it. Everybody wants to know about the independent writers. Now, I can only tell you so much because they're a little bit different. They're a little bit more complex. I don't really know how they operate. I'm only going to tell you the funny stories that I have that I ran into these individuals with. And this is not to talk down on them. These are just actual factual stories and what took place and how we went about it. First, get to IRS Yard. We had to kick it off with these individuals. There was an individual named Mousy. He was from East LA. And the individual named Shrek. His last name was Rivas. He was from, I believe he was from the IE area. We had to kick it off with these individuals because Snoop decided to get drunk. And he had a cell phone everywhere, and he started texting everybody on the mainland saying, hey, bro, we're kicking it off, bro. We're going to be the only riders on the yard. You know, fuck that, Playboy. This is us right here. This is our name. After he done let these guys coexist with us for many, 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 many years. And I was set up with the homie Payaso, Jacob Sanchez from San Jose, ex-Northerner. So it was me, him, and Sellies. And down the tier, we had Smiley from Westside Merced. He was a white boy skinhead. And then his celly, I can't remember who his celly, but he was an ex-Sureño. They come out first, and they wind up jumping Mousy. They jumped Mousy on the top tier while they were throwing their trash, and almost kicked Mousy down the stairs. And then they wind up getting down. So that already alerted the IRs that we were pretty much kicking it off with them. They didn't know we were kicking it off with them. 8 o'clock meds come around, and I got the write-up. If you guys want me to show you guys the write-up, I can show you guys the write-up. 8 o'clock meds comes out. I see Shrek come out. Now, Shrek's a big boy. And I look at him like, all right, bro, you know, homie want to get, you know, you want to get his issue. Let's give him his issue. I ain't tripping. So it was me, the homie Playboy from Sacramento. He from South Sac. And then Marcelli. We go downstairs. But we're lining up to go to pill call, and we're about to get, the cops are right there. So we're like, well, let's go through the rotunda and let's go outside, catch him on the track, let's beat him up. Like, towards the pill area. When he decides to look back right in front of the cops, look back at Marcelli, Marcelli's like, what's up, Playboy? And then Shrek just started getting off on Marcelli, so we had to jump him like right in front of the cops. Oh, we got sprayed and shot. Like, I think the homie Payaso, he got shot in his ass. I got shot in my back. Jumping him 3-on-1 in the day room. He winds up falling to his knees. And he falls on both his hands and his knees because we're scuffling, and pretty much we're just kicking him like a soccer ball for like 7-8 times until they started shooting us and finally got down and we got sprayed. The IRs go back to the yard. They started negotiating with the homies what the hell was going on. That they didn't want to go to war with us. They didn't understand why. Some of the homies disagreed with what we did, but we were the one that got the text message. So the homies at that committee at that time on IRS Yard were like, you know what, we're gonna disacknowledge what Snoop said. The homies shouldn't have done it. So me, the very few of us, all 5 of us that actually went and got off on these IRs, we went to the hall, the IR stood on the yard, and we were already pending investigation by the Playboy committee anyways, because the homies were like, man, hey, Snoop don't run this yard. We are our own committee, we are our own faction, we are our own Playboy compound. We are not gonna listen to that individual when he tells us to go to war, period. So each and every one of us had charges pending when we came back. I wound up going to SADF E Yard, the level 3 pending transfer to Kern Valley, even though I ended up back on D Yard later on down the road. So I didn't have to face the charges that these individuals faced for quite some time, because I went over there and started functioning as a Playboy and just started doing my own thing over there, and I made a lot of money. So where them homeboys didn't really care what happened on D Yard, E Yard was a whole different Playboy compound. They don't really work like that sometimes. Well, I get to Kern Valley. The IRs operate like this. They got like they have big homies that started it. They're founding fathers. They're founding members, should I say? But it goes like in like number categories. Like you got 1, 1.2, 2, 2.2, 3, 3.2, 4, 4.2. It's like whatever number category this individual is, the higher the number, the lower the ranking. So say if like a category 2 was to show up on a yard and a category 5 shows up on a yard, the category 2 is going to run that yard for the IRs. He's going to be the representative, the shot caller. The point 2 is like his right-hand man. So say if he's on the yard and his right-hand man shows up, they're going to run the yard together. Or say if there's a facility where all the IRs are, but there's no individuals that run the category system, like the 2.3 or 2.2 or 3.2, but his right-hand man's there, his point 2, this individual is going to run this yard, category number 2, and his right-hand man, which is point 2, is going to run that yard, and they're going to answer to each other and run these yards together until somebody of a category nature of the number system shows up on that yard. Yes, so I said it gets a little complex, but it only goes up to 9. 9.2, 8, 8.2, 7, 7.2, so on and so forth. Remember, 1 being the highest ranking member, which is, should I say one of the beginning founders, because they had a lot of founders. A lot of their founders really were still right there. We're still on these yards. And you'll be surprised that the original independent riders that kicked it off, like they're real young. They're real young, and they have big names on these yards. When they show up to these yards, these categories, I want to say like the first 4 categories and their right hands, these individuals' names weigh a little heavy, because these are the individuals that got live that were known for blasting people on the SNYs and the main lines too as well. I know it sounds a little bit, far-fetched, but trust me when I tell you, one of the main dudes, I can't remember his name. When I remember it, I'll figure it out. I'll probably call one of my compas and we can talk it over and just be like, hey, bro, let's get the information right. This individual, he's young and he has a twin brother, and his twin brother became a 2-5er. And I remember they were both on the yard. They were brothers, and they actually went to war with each other. One was a 2-5er and one was an independent rider. And then it came out later on that once they started fighting way too much and they started stabbing each other, actually the brother that was a Cinquero actually wound up getting stripped for his jersey. His brother landed on the yard with them like later on down the years and brought him to become an independent rider. Yeah, trust me. Like I said, these dudes are a little bit complex. They're a little bit fucking different. And it's so hard. But, there's some solid individuals that I've met that came from this faction. But the story I want to talk about in particular is going to make y'all laugh, though. So that's how it runs. I get to Kern Valley. There's a bunch of IRs there. We had Danger from 18th Street. We had Lucky from 18th Street. We had Smurf. We had a bunch of individuals. We had this young kid. I can't remember his name, but he used to pluck his eyebrows. He was a little short guy. He was cool with me. I just can't remember his name, but he was cool with me like a whole year. We actually knocked a female staff that used to be in our Narcotics Anonymous class. He did, but I got to reap the benefits of it by establishing a P.O. box and bringing in cell phones through Narcotics Anonymous classes. Through him, he allowed me to do it, But he wanted to fall in love with this girl. At this time, there was nobody of any category number on the yard running this. So they were all just pretty much running their own program. They had an elective spokesman, so on and so forth. But this one particular day blew my mind. All I know is that little homie was from Eastside Wilmas. That's all I remember. He's a little guy. I'll remember his name when I get a chance. But he was from Eastside Wilmas. He had Wilmas on his stomach. He had the W on his hand. Oh, his name was Paya. Had to think about it. His name was Paya. Little guy. He's like 5'1", 5'2". So anyways, we're chopping it up. And I swear to God, on everything I love, a transsexual shows up named Shay Shay. He's about 6'4". Long hair, looks like a girl. Walks up to, it was me, the homie Crow from Westside Merced, Gunner's little homie. Gunner could tell you a crazy story about Crow. You know, that boy put in massive work. He's a good homie. And it was Spire. We're just chopping it up on the yard. We're high off heroin, and we're just, just working out, doing our thing. And we see this tall transsexual walk up to us, and we kind of just look at him like, what the fuck? Like, what's up, bro? And he literally walks up to the homie Pi, and he goes, what's up, And that's what the independent writers do to sound off to one another. IRs, they be erring and slurring. That's what they call it. And he looked at him like, man, what's good? And he goes, hey, bro, I just want to let you know and introduce myself. My name is Shay Shay. I'm your big homie's bitch. The big homie, I think, that recruited this individual to become an IR was, I think he was a category 3, a number 3. The buyer goes, hey, bro, I'll talk to you guys later. Let me talk to this individual. So they start taking laps of me and the homie Crow. Like, bro, did he just say what I think he just said? Like, he's an IR and that's a transsexual? Come to find out, we yard recall, we leave, we come back, wait a couple of days. Next time we go to yard, sure enough, Shay Shay is actually an independent writer. He's a transsexual, and he's set up with a black dude. He has a boyfriend. So me and the homies are like talking about it, like, hey, bro, these fools are kind of giving a name a bad name. They ain't part of our people, but how they just gonna let this transsexual who's getting, piped down in a cell be part of theirs? And we actually are cool with these guys. Like, we actually bust spreads with these guys. We share needles with these guys. Like, man, what the hell? Like, nah, so we had to cut them off completely. And we told them, like, hey, bro, we can't respect that. Transsexuals are going to do their thing. We're not biased towards gays. They're more than welcome to do what they want. But you guys allowing them to be part of your STG group, that's a no-no, bro. We already know they got rules set in place. And they were pretty much telling us, like, hold on, bro, we're going to figure this out right now. He's identified by certain things and certain information that he knows that he's actually an independent writer. So we were like, you know what? We can't even dictate another man's program. We can't dictate another faction's program. They want to do their thing. They can do their thing. The two fires, the Zapatistas, us, we used to just laugh at it like, no way. Because it got worse. Shay Shay, being a transsexual, was actually known to be a hitter. And he actually went around the yard to the rest of the transsexuals. I think there was like 4 of them altogether. One was an ex-Nazi lowrider. I can't remember his name. Cornbread or something, but he changed his name to Baby Girl. They recruited that fool. So now you had those 2, and then you had one more that looked like, I swear to God, looked like dead on like Paris Hilton. So there's 3 of them. All sold up with boyfriends. The Paris Hilton one and Baby Girl were sold up with white boys. So you had 3 transsexuals that are actually independent writers, that actually have boyfriends, that are actually functioning with the independent writers, that will go to war for the independent writers. So that kind of threw us all off guard. We were like, no way, this is getting a little awkward now. Like, it's bad enough. We got a bad name and a bad reputation being that we're STG groups and SNYs. Trust me, I understand the perception that the mainlines have and a lot of these individuals on the streets do have. Trust me on that. And I've been doing my best to try to change the perspective here on YouTube. But this story kind of makes it look bad, but it's a funny story, and I thought I'd make you guys laugh. So it went on for about a good 3 or 4 months. And we used to just sit back and be like, bro, this is getting watered down now. Now you're just going to be recruiting everybody. But we kept our distance. We were like, man, Playboys, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to focus on us. We had just got done going to war with the 2 fivers over Scrappy. So we were just focused on putting our own Playboy committee together because we were losing numbers by the dozens. An individual shows up. His name was Scooby. I don't know where Scooby was from. No, my bad. I'm sorry. His name is Shorte. That's all I know. His name is Shorte. I don't know where he's from. Little guy, but he was a category, I think, 3 or category 4. And he walks up and he's chopping it up. He introduces himself to all of us. And he's like, hey, bro, I'm going to get these fools out of here, bro. This shit is nasty. I guess he addressed Paya. Paya winds up telling me, because I would think we had automotive with Paya in the morning. He's like, hey, bro, we got to get rid of these transsexuals. I was like, you think, motherfucker, you shouldn't have done it in the first place, bro? That's crazy. He goes, how was I supposed to override this big homie's decision over here in this other facility? I think that homie was in New Folsom or Old Folsom running independent riders. He's like, this fool came with all the criteria, bro, that he was an independent rider, bro. We just can't get rid of a brother like that. We have to go through a lot of procedures to get rid of this individual. He goes, I don't even know why they would make this individual. I go, man, that's besides the point, because you let that individual make 2 more individuals, and you guys voted them other 2 individuals in. Now you guys got 3 transsexuals you guys got to deal with. And baby girl was chunky and big, and then the Paris Hilton looking one, man, that motherfucker was just tall and skinny. So I wouldn't, whatever with that guy. This is how it goes down. And it happened in front of my door because I was in A section, the second cell on the top tier, so I could see the rotunda going to the outs. Short, they actually put in a medical slip for Shay Shay. Didn't even tell nobody he was going to do it. And then when they got to the rotunda together, when they let all the medical to go out at the same time at 8 o'clock, Short and another independent rider start jumping Shay Shay right there. They jump him 2-on-1, they get sprayed. They go to the program office. They're telling Shay Shay that he's not an independent rider to keep the out of his mouth. Shay Shay comes back, tells his boyfriend. His boyfriend tells the other individuals, all the blacks that were running with him, that actually support him. I think they were all Bloods at the time. So they come out. Baby girl comes out with a razor blade. The one that looks like Paris Hilton comes out with a razor blade. Their boyfriends come out. Then Shay Shay's old man comes out, and he's hella cool with the blacks, so the blacks are like 8 deep. So altogether, like 15, 20 deep on the basketball court, and then the IRs come out like 5 deep, which was Danger from 18th Street, Lucky from 18th Street, and there was like 2 more. And there's a subscriber on my YouTube that was here for all this, so if he was there, he validated something that happened in particular a couple months before, so I know he's gonna know about this one. And trust me, I can't wait till he validates this story. So I'm gonna pin it at the top of the comment section. The IRS come to Yard. They get drunk. They started hooping up all their drugs. And they went out there, 5 deep, against 20 people. And believe it or not, when I tell you this, them transgenders actually were the ones that were slicing up these IRS. They sliced their heads open. The blacks and the whites that were connected to these transgenders actually jumped in, and they got jumped while we all watched it. There was nothing we could do because we couldn't defend that. We couldn't protect that. It looked like a racial riot, like 5 Mexicans were getting jumped by whites and blacks and transgenders, but we couldn't defend it. All of us, the 2 firers, the independent, the Zapatistas and us, we were like, bro, we can't stand for that, bro. We cannot. That's not it's not our war. It's not our problem. That was their fault. The transgenders go to the hole for weapons charges. The IRs go to the hole for being victims because they actually got cut up and bled, went to the hospital. They got distributed out to different facilities. And the remaining IRs that didn't get to make it out to Yard that time actually started coming out. And they started telling all the everybody that was involved, they're like, hey, bro, we need one-on-ones. We need one-on-ones with everybody that jumped in on our brothers. So every day, bro, I swear to God, every day. And a lot of these IRs were like little, like 5'5", 5'3". They were doing what they had to do. They were getting beat up and they were getting served, but they were coming out rushing every black, every white, each and every individual that partaked in that. They would meet up them, whatever they needed to meet up with them, and they were squabbing it out. And so all the IRs that were left got at least 2 one-on-ones with the individuals that were involved, and then they did the issue. Tell you what, though, if that was any of us, we wouldn't be giving one-on-ones to nobody in that nature and in that fashion, because Snoop made it a policy that we ain't giving one-on-ones no more. And I'll tell you guys about that later, why he decided to not let us have our one-on-ones, or where he took the one thing that we used to pride ourselves in a lot in the beginning of the movement was one-on-ones. We used to love one-on-ones. And he took that away from us, but we wouldn't be giving nobody out there one-on-ones But on the same token, we wouldn't have been recruiting transgenders and let a situation get that far ahead. It's a crazy story, huh? And I got to be there to witness it all, man. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section. I already know you guys are gonna come out with some sick jokes, but hey, I don't fabricate nothing. I'm not gonna lie about nothing, and I'm not gonna glorify neither side to an extent that it's perfect, because it isn't neither side. But I'm always gonna be truthful about some things that took place, and that's my story on these individuals. Trust me, it's not all bad like that. I mean, there's a lot of solid individuals when it comes to the independent writers. I met some good homies from there. And trust me, the ones at Tehachapi, I can tell you right now, the ones be going up the most. It's like when you go to Tehachapi, you made it to the battlegrounds where you're gonna go to war on a consistent basis. And these individuals, the ones that are at Tehachapi, are the ones that I can actually glorify when I say, man, they put in work, they go, they blast shit. So with that being said, man, I hope you guys like my stories. More stories come soon. You know, I got a couple more days off, so I'm gonna be dropping video after video after video. With that being said, man, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. Peace.